How's it going, you guys? So in this video I want to discuss how to use social media in a healthy way. So you've probably seen quite a lot of videos on YouTube, especially coming from self-improvement channels, talking about the dangers of social media and how social media is really bad for people's mental health and things of that nature. And I've made videos along those lines in the past as well. So in this video, I want to talk about taking it beyond just like, oh, social media is bad. I want to explain to you all how you can actually use social media in a healthy way, and why social media is probably actually beneficial. It just depends on how you use it. So first of all, what are the main reasons why social media can be unhealthy? So the number one most important thing, regardless of who you are, is that pretty much any platform that invests millions of dollars in gaining your attention and retaining your attention for as long as possible, it relies a lot on abundance and novelty of stimulus per minute. So what that means is, when you go on social media, you're scrolling through the news feed and you see, 60 different posts per second, right? And you can just scroll through endless amounts of abundant information and without even taking a lot of any of that information in. And it puts your mind in an autopilot kind of haze where your brain is being hijacked, and it trains your brain to focus more on quantity of information rather than quality of focus on one thing at a time. And it can kind of turn you into a zombie to an extent. The other negatives of social media would be things like, training your brain to seek notifications, which spikes your dopamine. Even if you don't realize it, even if you don't think that you're actually addicted to notifications, using social media on a regular basis, opening your Facebook app to see if somebody's commented or someone's liked your post or something throughout the day, that is literally your brain addicted to the dopamine spike. You may not realize it, but it's true. And dopamine is a neurotransmitter responsible for seeking out rewards. So when you're scrolling through the news feed, you're seeking out the rewards of new bits of information. The only thing is you never get the satisfaction of endorphins because you're constantly seeking, because there's always something new to find. So it's this never-ending spike of dopamine that never gets satisfied, which creates feelings of unsatisfaction and depression and a lack of appreciation and a lack of satisfaction. It's like constantly being hungry but never being satisfied. That's literally what social media does from a dopamine standpoint. Through scrolling through the newsfeed and then the notifications, same thing. Dopamine is spiking because you're looking for that reward. You're searching for that reward. And if you don't get that notification, maybe you don't realize it, but that will actually induce feelings of, for one, craving, because now you start to crave those notifications again. You start to crave those comments or those likes, and if you don't get it, you're like disappointed or you're sad. And like, I think everybody feels this at least on a low level, but we know inherently how ridiculous it is, so we just kind of like don't think about it much. But it is influencing neurotransmitters that change your mood, okay? And this can also change your behavior. So when you're walking into social situations now, you may not realize it, but you might actually be more likely to have a tendency towards those dopamine-seeking behaviors in relationships and everyday social interactions with acquaintances and people you encounter throughout your life. If someone doesn't respond the way you want them to, you might feel more emotional just because social media has kind of primed your behavior that way. and there's kind of like this seeking of reward or seeking of approval, and then also this lack of focus, this hijacking of focus, where you're focusing on all the quantity of stimulus rather than the quality of the stimulus, and being present to the moment. So those are the main downsides of social media, and I'll probably actually make that a little clip and make a separate video with that in it. So if those are all the negatives, how can we avoid those negatives entirely and then capitalize on the positives? So what are the positives of social media? So social media is actually one of the most groundbreaking tools to mankind, and it has, for as many negatives as it has many more positives that can totally catapult your life forward. So and one more negative of social media is things like Facebook. They actually, their profit-driven exposure algorithm. So basically, a lot of your posts will not actually get seen by your friends and your family, especially if you're posting like a YouTube video on Facebook. They'll purposely shuttle exposure away from YouTube, or away from your post and towards other people's posts. So depending on what you post, and depending on how many likes it gets, and also depending on if you're paying for advertising on Facebook, or if you're talking about a subject that Facebook doesn't like, it will shuttle exposure towards other people. That's why they changed the Facebook news feed away from, seeing the newest post towards seeing like the top posts. Back in like 2013 or whatever, they changed the algorithm in the news feed completely. So that can be very bad, because you can have, you come to Facebook to see your friends' posts, your family's posts, and people you care about, but instead it's cluttered with all these advertisements and pages you follow and crap you don't care about. And so you're getting all of this noise and not a lot of shit that actually is like beneficial towards your life, or things that actually relate to who you are. So that's very detrimental, right? Even like I notice people that I have on see first, like my mom or something, who specifically I want to see all her posts first, and I have her in that playlist or whatever. A lot of times I won't even see some of her posts, because Facebook, it's catering more towards profit and other crap that I'll see before I ever see my mom's posts. So she might specifically post something about me and not tag me in it, and I won't even see it because of Facebook's algorithm. It's really stupid. So anyway, some of the positives of social media are, again, keeping up with family, keeping up with friends, and also being able to promote your own ideas, and being able to promote your own work, promoting your lifestyle and things like that. So let's say that you want to build a social circle. You want to build actual friends you can hang out with on a regular basis. Let's say I like drinking tea or something, right? And I don't really have a lot of friends that drink tea. Well, one of the great things about social media is that you can just post pictures of tea, post statuses about how you love drinking tea, and other people will also share their love for that on your posts. And so you can actually find other people who are in alignment with your tastes and your desires and things. And so what you can do is you can actually build better, relationships with people that you would not have otherwise built based on your desires. So if you start to post more about the things you like in life, you'll be able to attract more people that also like those things. Now, of course, we live in an era now, especially with the recent pandemic, where people are scared of like socializing with others. People are scared of reaching out to other people. You're not going to get someone who will message you right away and be like, hey, I like, the high quality tea too. Let's go and have a tea party. Even if like you've hung out with that person before, like for some reason self-esteem issues get in the way. And it's really sad actually, but regardless though, if you have if you know how to navigate social situations and you have enough confidence, you can find out like, hey, this person is liking my picture of tea all the time, or they're commenting on it saying they like that tea. So you want to reach out to that person, message them and say, hey, let's have a tea party, or build rapport with them, like build conversations and try to like connect with them and hang out with them and stuff. That is a very strong benefit of social media, and that is one way that you can actually use social media to your advantage. Another way you can use social media to your advantage is if you have some type of like business or you have some kind of cause. So this might actually play into the cons of social media, things like debates and arguments and things. But again, like promoting something that you are really passionate about. So let's say the truth in health and nutrition on my part, right? The more that I promote, the more that I talk about like, oh my God, like, I'm eating this medicinal diet, food is medicine type of thing. I had all these autoimmune illnesses and I cured it with food. Well, now I can actually share that message with others. And while I may not be able to fully convert other people into believing food is medicine, that will plant a seed in their head to where over time they'll start to see more evidence that food is medicine. And then eventually I can indirectly create other people that start to follow food as medicine as well. And I can, over time, progressively change the, modern medical kind of paradigm where people think that drugs are the answer and get nowhere, dying of all these diseases, to now we've got a healthier population that engages in critical thinking and these other things, all thanks to my little messages I share on social media, combined with other people's messages shared on social media, influencing people on an individual basis over time. So that's a really powerful part of social media. Of course, the thing is, there's so many people that are doing this that have negative, that, let's say, alternative medicine practitioners that are promoting the wrong information and actually it's counterproductive. But regardless, that is a strong thing in social media. So the big thing is creating positive relationships, creating communities, promoting the things that you enjoy, promoting things you're passionate about, promoting your business, sharing your YouTube videos or whatever it is. If you have a fitness business, let's say you're a personal trainer, sharing your services online, letting people know, hey, I got this business, I opened up this restaurant downtown, let's go and eat, right? Or even like, let's say that there is a local restaurant that you enjoy going to that you're not really a part of, right? But you want that business to do well and survive. You let people know about it. You go to that restaurant, tag yourself at that restaurant, talk about how good the food is, and then share your experience with other people. That is how you, first of all, that's how you build a good feeling life, a positive life. That's how you actually be happy, is that you focus on what you want, and stay away from the shit you don't want. But at the same time, that's also how you utilize social media properly, right? Think about all the people that are sharing all these memes and crap no one really cares about, right? Whatever. If that's what you want to do with your friends, talk about memes and shit when you hang out with them, whatever. Or arguing about politics, or sharing your opinion on politics. Maybe that's the change you want to see in society, and that's what you think you're passionate about, and you're sharing your message to try to influence people. Sure, that can happen. But in my opinion, what I see is that actually seems to cause a lot more arguments and fights and create more negativity than positives, unless of course you know what aspects of your view to promote and how to present it in a way that creates positive change. You know what I mean? But I know there's just a lot of people involve themselves in arguments and things that get nowhere in social media, and that I believe is a con of social media. Is people may not realize it, but they're addicted to like that dirty high and that stimulation of arguing with random strangers on the internet about things, and they're not like they're not donating money to the organizations that they're talking about. They're not really, trying to promote their cause. They're really trying to they're parroting things that they believe in, and then they're fighting with other people. But maybe I'm wrong. I think it depends on the context and the person and whatnot. But I don't think arguing and fighting with people on the internet is good. I think maybe productive debating and conversation is productive. I do. I think if you're truly and honestly intending to expand your knowledge on a subject and have intelligent, civilized conversations with other people and share information, sure, but it's very rare that people are doing that. Most people are just looking for a fight. But regardless, though, there is a positive way of using social media. There is a productive and constructive way of sharing your beliefs on social media as well, even if it's political. But if you start to think about how can I present my views in a constructive way that's easy for people to receive, and really think about what is this going to create. If I share this video, is it going to create more positive interactions with people? Am I going to create friendships with others? Am I going to create more rapport, more relationships, building community with others? Or is this just going to go and be like a wasted message to the ether, right? And never really evolve into anything? Is this going to create negativity and fighting and things? Is this just going to clutter my news feed? And that's the thing. So beyond that, only using social media to share a piece of yourself in a constructive way with other people. That's what I think is key. So if you're on Facebook all day just scrolling through the news feed, you're not using social media in a healthy way. If you're on Facebook just sharing other people's posts, is that really healthy for your own brain and your own life? What is that creating? Is it just a distraction, right? Don't you think you'd be better off journaling, or playing a video game is probably more productive than that? Watching this video, whatever. So instead of using social media all day, I turn my notifications off. I don't have Facebook notifications if someone likes my post, comments on my post, whatever. In fact, there's times where I turn notifications off for Instagram and Facebook messages. If something's really important, someone will text or call me. And I get so many spam calls nowadays that I have my ringer off most of the day, because unless I'm expecting a call, there's not a lot of things that are really important that I need that ringing or whatever to distract myself randomly throughout the day. So many people are like a slave to their notifications. It hijacks their dopamine, it hijacks their focus, it lowers their quality of life for the sake of quantity. So imagine me trying to focus on this YouTube video. I don't have a script, and then my phone rings throughout the video. I'm like, oh, sorry, going to interrupt what I was focusing on. My flow state needs to be interrupted now for this random Facebook notification. And then it turns out to be a spam caller. Or what if it's just a Facebook notification? Oh, never mind, someone liked my post. Ha ha ha. Or someone sent me a meme through my... do I really need to interrupt my focus for that bullshit? And so the reality is 99% of humans... Well, actually, let's be more realistic. I think that's another... Actually, so I was going to say 99% of people are zombies, but, that are addicted to social media. But you know what? That's not true. What I've actually found is that social media actually makes negativity look more prominent than it really is. So that's another thing about social media. Social media, you see all of the negativity in the world. You see the political arguments. You see the opposing arguments you don't like. And also you see a lot of brain dead zombies on social media. Like, I see all these people who are sharing stupid things, sharing stupid memes, sharing articles they haven't even read, complaining about bullshit all the fucking time. And so that clouds my mind, because all day, if I'm on social media, that's all I see. And I'm like, oh, all these people on my news feed are idiots or zombies or whatever. And remember, idiots are only people that believe something that you don't believe, really. They're people you disagree with. That doesn't mean that they're actually they're less intelligent than you. You just label them an idiot because you disagree with them. So that's kind of an idiotic thing to do, really. Label someone an idiot. But anyway, if you're constantly seeing your Facebook news feed, the shit you see on the news feed is going to appear to be the standard in life. So you're going to go throughout the day, and this is a thing I see. People are projecting what they see on social media onto the rest of the world. Like, when I go to my jiu-jitsu classes, when I go to work, where I work as a personal trainer at a gym, I don't see people coming up to me and telling me I'm stupid for like calling me a stupid ginger, like people would do on the internet. I don't see people coming up to me and telling me the way that I'm doing an exercise is wrong. I don't see people, if I wear like a meat shirt or a carnivore diet shirt, I don't see vegans coming up to me telling me how stupid I am. On the internet, you see that all the time. Like you don't, in reality, people are not as stupid as social media will make it seem. So, and that was a big thing that I had to realize during the pandemic thing, because everyone's freaking out during the pandemic. And then I go out in real life and I don't see the same thing. But my mind is like living as if it is. Because social media can program your mind to think that the world is the way it is represented in social media. So, that's why using social media effectively is, really unfollowing the people that share bullshit. Because that's not healthy for you. I used to think, I gotta keep everyone followed because, number one, I don't want to be in an echo chamber. And number two, if I unfriend people, then I won't have as many people liking my statuses or whatever. But what I realize now is, like, first of all, how many people like my shit doesn't really matter. Second of all, is it really living in an echo chamber if I'm unfollowing or unfriending people who, first of all, I don't really know in real life, or maybe I used to know, back in the day, but like don't really have any association now in the current time. And they're sharing, like, who knows, like they're sharing, stuff about why a politician's racist or something. And I just don't care about politics. And it kind of like angers me when I see people like arguing about minutia and not really doing anything productive. It kind of actually molds my mind into like thinking that people in real life are that way. So, and if anything, it's just providing me negativity. So removing that from my mind is probably a beneficial thing overall. You gotta think net positive rather than just, is it good or is it bad? So, anyway, removing all the bullshit that's bad on your social media, basically. And giving it a chance, obviously. If it's just somebody who believes something different than you, then it's kind of immature. Just be like, fuck you. You don't believe in my political view. You're an evil person. But it depends on what they're doing and what they're presenting and then how they talk to you. Anyway, beyond that, only using social media to connect with people you care about, to promote things you care about. You know what I mean? And then, like, throughout most of the day, don't be on social media. Throughout most of the day, focus on life. If you go to the restroom and you're on your fucking phone when you're taking a shit, you're fucking addicted. If you can't take a piss without being on your phone, You're an unconscious zombie. You're addicted, really. Okay, we want to be factual about it. You're addicted. If you can't wait in a waiting room, at the doctor's office without checking your phone, if the first thing you do is get on your phone when you get to a doctor's office and sit in the waiting room, you're addicted. It's crazy to me. You're in the checkout line at the grocery store and you're on your phone. You're in the sauna at the gym and you're on your phone. You're gonna sweat on the fucking screen and ruin it, So get the fuck off the autopilot bullshit. Stop using Facebook and social media as a way to distract yourself. Just get away from that novelty-seeking shit. All these guys who are struggling with porn addiction, they have to realize the same thing I had to realize, is that it's not, porn addiction is the most powerful form of this, but it's not porn addiction that's really keeping you in that trap. It's the abundant stimulation of the internet, where you can just read endless articles about nutrition from an infinite amount of sources. You just literally you could spend a whole lifetime reading articles about the same topic. You can spend a whole lifetime watching videos of different cats on YouTube. You spend a whole lifetime playing through the catalog of video games that there is on ROM sites or on Netflix or whatever, or on YouTube. You spend a whole lifetime watching YouTube videos, and you will never watch every single video. You will never play every single video game. You will never read every single article. You will never see every single meme or every single post on your newsfeed on social media. This is exactly why it's toxic. This is exactly why so many people are addicted to porn. It's not necessarily a sex addiction. It's not a porn addiction. It is the internet hijacking your dopamine. That is what's going on. And then you're living in this tornado of thought of what would you say? Just never-ending thoughts, where you call it anxiety, you say you have ADHD, you say you have depression. What you have is an imbalance in your brain caused by the way you use the internet. That's what's going on. And I've, experienced this since 2012 when I first got a smartphone, but it took me forever. Well, actually, around late 2014, early 2015, after about 3 years of having a smartphone. Really, it started with a Kindle Fire, where I was feeling these problems but didn't know what was going on. It took me about 3 years to finally figure out, oh shit, I can't just sit and live my life anymore. I can't just be on one video game and play it through. No, I have to keep switching the video game. I have to keep, switching the topic. But people live their whole fucking life not recognizing, oh, it's the abundance of the internet that's actually fucked my mindset up or fucked my mental health up. So you've got to focus on quality over quantity. Build quality relationships with social media rather than scrolling through all this bullshit, arguing with all these people or whatever. Dating apps, ruining quality relationships, because if you just scroll through an infinite amount of partners, it makes you think that, relationships are easy to get. My therapist would say, shooting fish in a barrel. And I think that was part of the reason why, I had trouble in my 4-year relationship recently. I think that's why a lot of people are having problems in the relationship. But, when you have a quality partner, you don't realize it because you're I could always just get someone new. It's you know what? Your relationship can be as good as you both make it. But it's hard to make a quality relationship when your mind is so used to this abundant mentality. It's literally your brain circuits are changing now. Anyway, and also, how can I just focus on reading a book when there's all this like shit on social media that my brain can be stimulated by? And people will tell me, oh, I just can't focus on reading. I'm just not the type of person to read. Like, no, you've trained your brain to like not be able to focus on one thing at a time. And people, they suffer because of it. And, so anyway, leave your question, comments down below, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what your experience is with this. Have you noticed this? Do you think I'm full of crap? I really want to know what are you guys have you recognized this in yourself? Have you gone away from social media for a while and noticed a benefit? Let me know.